So I ran away when I was a teenager, again, because of some violence in the home. And so, I experienced hunger.
She moved to Chicago. She was looking for work. And my understanding was she was going to leave me with friends, and they were going to take care of me during while she was out looking for work. And I remember her saying, when she first put me in foster care, I remember her standing by the fence and giving me a kiss on the cheek and going, "I'll be back to get you." That was the last time I saw her. I was 3 years old.
My mother, she was she is, still is, a strong black woman. And I would always hear from her, you can, do anything, that you set your mind to. It was always, positive. And there were situations where I would be around the men.
Because I was underage, I wasn't supposed to work, and plus I was on the run, so I was hiding all the time. We didn't always have enough to eat, and I couldn't work, and so I had to rely on somebody else to make sure that I had something to eat. And that wasn't always the case. Sometimes I was left alone while other people did their thing and carried on, with their day-to-day, and I'd just be sitting in the house, and I would be hungry.
I would hear negative things in regards to women. And so that, we're told, to be quiet, you can't, only speak, when spoken to, that we did, have a voice.
To have that as an only memory of your mother, that kind of just stayed with me. And so that started my trail of life in the system.
And I remember somebody came to visit, and they were like, "When's the last time you ate?" I guess, I didn't say anything, but I guess based on how I looked or whatever. And I was like, "It's been a couple of days, and, because so-and-so hasn't come over and brought me anything, And so they went out and bought me some food, and I ate. And then there's this kind of feeling of, wow, if somebody doesn't come by and give me something, I'm not going to have anything, because I'm not in the position to go get it myself. I was 15.
From early on, people wanted to do more, right? That people are hungry not because there's some, they just don't have food. It's really they're hungry because they don't have jobs or they don't have incomes that pay enough.
What really got me involved with everything was that we had to move. We were there for 16 years.
And so I just started hearing different friends, people that I knew in the kitchen. I would, start hearing about their concerns. And not even just the kitchen, actually, but even beyond, the walls.
We had to leave because they decided they wanted to make the place go condo.
Gave me an opportunity to talk about things that I never talked about before because I wasn't concerned. Politics and all of this, that wasn't a concern of mine. Mine was surviving.
So I came to a couple meetings and I was like, wow, this organization is awesome. There are so many incredible people here with so many talents, and they're actually trying to do something.
When people get together and they meet each other and they begin to care about one another, that kind of instills in people, like a sense of self.
I started at a Just Harvest when I was 14 years old.
I am truly, worth something. I'm part of something. And, I would be missed if I were gone.
And at that point, I was really angry and mean and spiteful. And I was disgusted with everybody.
Due to the distancing that we put on our youth, like, hey, if you're young and black, you're dangerous. I don't want to talk to you. We're going to push those people over there in a corner.
I came here and I still had my guard up a little bit. And I was kind of iffy on trusting everybody. I'm like, okay, they seem nice, but what if during the future they go ahead and they change and they turn their backs on me and they backstab me or something?
Violence in our neighborhood stems from the lack of empathy and the lack of value on their own life, and therefore they don't put value on the next man's life.
They basically helped me realize that I don't have to keep my guard up, and they're not going to hurt me, and they're not going to be like everybody else on the street.
You know, when they feel like they're worthless, hey, they've got nothing to lose by taking somebody else's. You know, whether it's their life, their property, their money, you know, whatever.
And then I guess I kind of let my guard down, and I don't really regret it because it basically helped me. It helped me out a lot. It helped me mature as growing up into a young adult, I guess.
We don't want to have a community where they're the people who serve and the people who receive, right? Because it just creates this yucky dynamic.
So the question is, how can we set things up to where everyone benefits?
I moved to this neighborhood 11 years ago. I was homeless, addicted to drugs, and living a worldly life.
If you want to help build a better community, it doesn't start off easy. Like, you have to at least help get people into it.
So when I moved to this neighborhood, God had took away the desire of drugs from me, and I was moved into my own apartment. And I came and was introduced to the kitchen, and me and my daughter started eating here, and discovered it was a church here, and I joined the church and discovered Northside P.O.W.E.R.
We are taught in the church to be servants and to, you know, care for folks and not to want to overpower people, but rather to empower people. So I was always a little resistant to wanting to claim my own power or to seek power.
People get really nervous about organizing because it's deeper and it has to address bigger problems.
Then I was reminded that power is what brings about change, and power is not always a negative thing.
Build power is, I would say, to help yourself and help the people in the neighborhood do things together.
The system is really set up to keep you between a rock and a hard place.
If you want to let people make decisions about your life, then you're welcome to do that. But if you want to be a part of that decision making process, then you need to be involved.
When I got pregnant with my second daughter, I was working a minimum wage job at the time. It was like $4 something an hour. And I didn't have health insurance. So I went to the public aid office and I said, I have a job, I don't need anything else, but I need health insurance. And the caseworker looked at me and said, if you want help, you're gonna have to quit your job. So I did, because I couldn't afford to have that baby.
And one of the things that I've learned, that I don't have to, be afraid or shy, what have you, in that I do have the power, I do have the voice, and that I can, use my voice to get something done.
And I never forgot that. I'm like, this system is so screwed up. And then there's just sort of blame those who need it, and there's this sort of perpetuating, there's a perpetuating of dependence.
And I asked them, which one would you rather be, the problem or the solution? That change is possible. Because I would sometimes tell people my story and let them know hope and God can do anything.
The work through Northside P.O.W.E.R. and the work of building power really is about beginning to sort of uncover, again, that voice that says the system is screwed up. That's why we're building power, so they can let go of that system and begin to create this and help be a part of building this new, this new understanding, this new community, this new system that works for all people.
And to clean up a person like me and make a productive life, a meaningful life, and become a part of something, I feel like there's power in it.